Welcome to the first episode of Ground Zero, a new podcast all about gaming, featured on GoGamingGiant.com. I'm Matt.
And I'm Jordan.
Yes, this week is E3 going
yeah,
on
dude.
right now. So make sure you stay tuned to GoGamingGiant.com for all of your E3 news, fast-breaking updates, and all the coolness going on at that expo. And today we're going to do a couple of reviews for you.
Virtua Tennis 09 by Sega.
Sega!
I thought it was going to be really sick, so
I did too.
I don't like tennis games, but I don't like sports games normally, but this one looked really cool. I like the intro of it, so I was like, oh, this one could be really cool.
It was very dynamic, the intro was.
I was like, oh, I'm super stoked, and then I love all of Sega's games. They all have
So you're excited.
They all have the little announcer that sounds American, but totally Japanese.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like the guy that did the Monkey Ball games.
It is probably the guy.
I'm a huge tennis fan. I like sports games. I play tennis in real life quite a bit. So I was pretty excited for this because when Top Spin 3 came out, I was really excited. And that game is really good, but it definitely has a steep learning curve, so it's a little harder. And I was kind of excited for Virtua Tennis 2009 because I expected it to be on that level of Top Spin 3 as far as being really good, but being a little more simple. So it wasn't quite as complex to learn. And I was wrong. It was too easy.
I thought it was easy in play, but they never told you what to do.
Yeah, the menu system isn't, I don't know, I felt like if you go online to like GameTrailers.com and watch the developer diary for this game, they go and talk about all the new features for Virtua Tennis 2009, right? You know, they're like, oh, you have this new over-the-shoulder camera. I'm like, yeah, they had that in Top Spin 1 on the first Xbox. Like, oh, we have this new World Tour mode where you go around and play these different tournaments in these real stadiums. I'm like, they had that in Top Spin 1 on the other Xbox. And it's like all these things that they've done before. They had a few small, and the player creation, you could make your own player. I'm like, they had that in Top Spin. So I was kind of like, where have you guys been for the last like, 10 years? Have you been hiding?
They've been creating this game.
You've never heard about
really, really great
Top
game.
Spin? Yeah, and yeah, the layout of how you're supposed to do things and level up and acquire your skills and stuff was vague and or non-existent.
They had so many like weird elements. Like it just starts you off and your menu is a world and they don't tell you how to get new stuff. You go to the training and it just says, okay, hit a cross-court shot.
You're like, okay.
I don't play tennis, so I don't know what that is. So I'm like, I'll do A then. Like, it doesn't say, like, press A. It doesn't tell you how to do anything, where you need to aim. There's no real training.
You literally have to go into the...
Go here and do it.
You have to go into the menu and options and look at the control configuration there to see what the buttons are for. And it never tells you.
You can't even get to the options menu unless you quit the training mode.
And go to the main
menu.
Quit
any of the modes. You have to get all the way out of the game, go back to the main menu, then go to options, and then it'll tell you what all the buttons do.
Graphically,
you can't just pause it.
Graphically, what did you think about this game? I mean, as far as just the look itself, the aesthetic.
It was pretty good. It was kind of sterile, but there was no people in the like bleachers.
There were some, and that gets
three.
more. Well, you're playing in a small tournament. That actually like fills out in the bigger stadiums you get to, the larger, slam tournaments and that kind of stuff.
But the characters all looked really, really, really similar. I didn't even get to where I saw any of the pros yet, so they may have spent
the pros looked all right.
A ton of time modeling the pros. The pros in the intro looked all right.
The pros in the game looked pretty good. Your player creation characters kind of all
look
it was
the
like
same.
The player creation mode is very similar to me, very similar to like the way you could adjust your character. Your Mii on the Wii.
Yeah.
It's a lot of like, make them go this way, make your features go this way, bigger or smaller. Which is exactly like the Wii. And it wasn't very...
dynamic.
No.
You couldn't...
And the skin...
Saints Row 2...
Much better.
Amazing.
Right.
Sims...
The skin tones
amazing.
were a little weird. There was like one skin tone that looked like real skin, and the rest of them looked kind of...
Weird,
like dead flesh or something. Like zombie kind of like.
There
It was a
like,
little weird.
The black skin was just like all... bright blue.
Yeah,
and
like a bluish.
You're like, what
weird.
the heck?
Control-wise, the game felt pretty good, but it felt a lot like the other
you're
Virtua
on
Tennis
easy
games.
mode.
Yeah, it definitely felt too easy.
You can't hit the ball out of the court. Like on your initial serve, if you hit it too strong, you could. But then why is there even the meter? It's like, don't go all the way to max or you'll just
If you go too,
And any below max, you could pretty much not hit the net. There wasn't a perfect spot. Like it was tough to hit. It's just like, oh, here's a meter that just kind of does nothing. Didn't matter how hard you served, like the PC or AI could always pick it up.
Right.
You know.
Well, and then too, you have in the top spin games, You know, your A is your regular, like your stroke back. X is like a slice shot. B is a top spin shot. And then Y is your lob. Whereas here you had your regular shot, and your X and B buttons are both just a slice.
Yeah.
There's no other, and there's no, like on the top spin games, you have the trigger risk shots, a little more difficulty going on there. They don't have that in this game. It just seemed very kind of standard and like almost half finished. Like there were things that they didn't complete in the game.
I feel that you could play this game on an arcade machine, which is maybe what they were going for, because Sega does make a lot of arcade games. There wasn't a lot of depth in any aspect of it. The leveling up your character was pretty boring.
Yeah. Very generic. Unfortunately, I expected a lot more from this game. Now, as far as a scoring system goes, we should probably explain that real quick.
Yeah.
Instead of giving it like a number score, we're going to go on the basis...
Or stars.
Right. We're going to go on the basis of like a price point. What would you pay for this game? Would you pay full price? Would you pay more than full price?
Because we're trying to save you guys money.
That's right, because that's how we roll. Yeah. So, if you were to go get this game, what would you be willing to pay for Virtua Tennis 2009?
I think you will probably pay more for this than me, because you knew a little bit about tennis going in.
Right.
So some of the stuff made sense. The mechanics, like, oh, do this. Oh, well, I play tennis all the time, so I can figure this out. I don't know what anything is, and nothing's explaining it. I do remember that you said that in one part of the training, we were trying to figure out forever how to do this.
Wasn't even sure
how to do a drop shot.
They're like, hit a drop shot. I'm like, I just did. That was a drop shot. And it didn't,
like in tennis,
like, that was a drop shot. What are you talking about?
And it was not winning.
So what would you pay?
I would pay $5 in a bargain bin for this if I had to pick it up.
Yeah, but you probably wouldn't even anyway.
I would skip this game.
Entirely. I would probably pay $10 for this game if I were to buy it. I probably wouldn't buy it. I would go buy Top Spin 3. Even though there's a higher learning curve, steeper learning curve on that game, it is a better game just about on every level. So unfortunately, I would probably pass on Virtua Tennis 2009.